Good morning, Christ Temple Family Church, everybody in the house. Woo, woo, there we go. I see some hands going up. And good morning online. Thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate y'all taking the time out your morning to be with us. And I'm excited. It's been, I think, 2 weeks, too long. I'm very excited to be up here to bring the word for you all this morning. And it's been a very eventful 2 weeks. And before I continue, we all know our senior pastor, Bishop Shannon, is from Milwaukee. And the Milwaukee Bucks won the 2021 NBA championship. So congratulations to all the Milwaukee people watching and all the Milwaukee persons in house. I don't think anybody else is from Milwaukee. I don't know. But yeah, they won. I'm a huge NBA fan. I watched it, and it was a very good NBA Finals, Marcus. There was Giannis, their star player, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I've been practicing his name. But Giannis, he was the star player, scored 50 points, probably one of the best NBA Finals closeout games in the history of the NBA. And what I love about it is that after he scored 50 points to win the championship, the next morning he went to Chick-fil-A and ordered 50 nuggets. And that was very petty to me. But I loved it, though. But he deserved it. He definitely deserved that ring because it was a tough one. It was a very, very tough one. He said, no super team, I'm going to do it anyway. A small market. Milwaukee is a small NBA market. And we really look forward to seeing the future of Milwaukee and what's going on right now, because it was a very good NBA Finals. That everybody talked about when they won that championship on how hard it was, how tough it was, all the sacrifice that they had to do, all the practices, all the hard work, all the stress, everything they endured to win that championship, to hoist that trophy in the air. They talked about hard. What you're trying to achieve in life is hard. It's going to take hard work. And one of the most viral quotes of the whole NBA Finals was Coach Monty Williams, Game 4. And this is when, after they lost, he told his team that, you can put it on the screen, put this quote on the screen. Is on the other side of hard. Everything, that ring that they're trying to win is on the other side of hard. That trophy that they're trying to get is on the other side of hard. That accomplishment they're trying to achieve is on the other side of hard. So I'm here to tell you, everything you want in life is on the other side of hard. That peace you want is on the other side of hard. That financial freedom you want is on the other side of hard. Everything you want is on the other side of hard. It's not going to come easy, and that's my sermon subject for today is the other side of hard. The other side of hard. Everything you want is on the other side of hard. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to do some fighting. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to do a little work. Everything, and I want y'all to write this down, everything you want is on the other side of hard. That ring, that degree, that book you're trying to write, that business you're trying to start, that ministry you're trying to join, everything you want is on the other side of hard. What you trying to achieve ain't going to be easy. What you trying to achieve is going to take some work. What you trying to, that assignment God has given you and you trying to fulfill that assignment, it's going to take some stuff. It's not going to come easy. But here's the thing. If you want to achieve, if you want to reach your land flowing with milk and honey, you want to reach that promised land, then you're going to have to be willing to go through the hard. So that's saying where you at right now and where you trying to be, you're going to have to go through hard. Where you are right now, what's between you and your vision, between you and your goal, you and your assignment, it's hard. And you have to be willing to put in the work to get on the other side of hard. Now, I'm about to say something that's going to step on some toes because it stepped on my toes. And I know y'all might not like it, but it's the truth. Here's the thing. Some of us, we want the benefits of hard work without actually putting in the hard work. We want the benefits, but we don't want to put in the work to... Yeah, we want the benefits. You want to reap big, but sow little. You want to maximize, you want God to maximize your blessings with minimum prayer. So you have to be willing to put in the work to get on that other side of hard, but the thing is, a lot of us don't want to put in that work. You want the benefits, you want the aftermath of hard work, but you don't want to put in. You know, here's the thing, a lot of us try to put credit. We want to put hard work on credit. Put that on the screen. Do not put hard work on credit. You cannot put hard work on credit. You say, you know what, just give it to me now. I'll do all the hard work later. You know, give it to me now. Give me that grade now, and I'll do the studying later. Give me the business now, and I'll do all the prepping later. Give it to me now, and I'll put the hard work on credit. I don't want to do it right now. I just want the benefits of the hard work. And you cannot put hard work on credit. Hard work will always pay off. Remember that hard work will always, you cannot cheat hard work. You cannot cheat it, so you cannot put hard work on credit. People want the benefits. They want the aftermath. They like, give me the grade I want, and I'll do the hard work later. You have all these desires in life and believe that God has called you to do big things. But once it becomes hard, you start having second thoughts about what God is wanting you to do. You start having second thoughts like, I don't think it should be this hard. But who said it's supposed to be easy? What you're trying to accomplish is hard. You cannot experience the promises of God by going the easy route. You're going to have to go through some things to get to that promised land. And in this text we get into today, the generation of Israelites that God brought out of Egypt were this close to entering the promised land. Their land flowing with milk and honey, they were this close. But when they saw how hard it was going to be to conquer it, they refused to enter. When they saw how hard it was going to be to conquer the promised land, they refused to go. So roll with me. We're going to be in Numbers. Numbers chapter 13. We're going to read verses 25 all the way to Numbers chapter 14, verse 4. So Numbers 13:25 through 14:4. And it reads, after exploring the land for 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community. But let me give you a little backstory first. See, Moses, in the beginning of chapter 13, Moses sent scouts to check out the promised land. He sent scouts, and then, so now we're at the point where the scouts are returning from their exploration to report back to the Israelites their report. And so let's go back to a verse we had 26. Yeah, 26. To Moses and Aaron, the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran, they reported to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But, oh, here goes but. Don't you hate when that but comes? You like, okay, and then they like, but, like, I knew it was coming. What's the bad thing? But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there and the descendants of Anak. The Amalekites live in Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and the Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. But Caleb, which is one out of the two explorers, one out of the two scouts, Caleb and Joshua, they saw the same thing, but they had a different perspective of what they saw. So they saw the same thing. They saw the same opposition. Then they tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once to take the land, he said. We can certainly conquer it. But, here go to another but the other man who had explored the land with him disagreed. We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored would devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people you saw there were huge. They looking at it. Everybody there is big. The cities are fortified. Verse 33, we even saw giants there and the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers. And that's what they thought too. How do they know what they thought? They made an assumption. And then we go to chapter 14, verse 1. Then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried all night. Their voices rose in great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. Only if we had died in Egypt, or even here in the wilderness, they complained. Why is the Lord taking us to this country? Why is he taking us to this promised land? Why is he taking us to this other side just for us to die in battle? And I'm going to skip down to verse 4. Then they plotted amongst themselves, let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt. Let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt. They were ready to run back to the familiar because what was in front of them was hard. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of when life gets hard to run back to what I'm familiar with. And I'm tired of us running back. As Christians, we may want to run back to the familiar because what God is wanting us to do right now is hard. And so we run back to what we're comfortable with. They wanted to run back to oppression. They wanted to run back to Egypt after God has already delivered them from Egypt, because in order to conquer the promised land, they thought it was going to be hard. And when life gets hard, a lot of times we want to run back to the familiar. And as a church, we need to make a decision to not run back to dead ends. Let's not run back to dead ends, all because the path that we're going down is getting a little too hard. Let's not run back to the dead end. Let's not run back to that relationship we know is no good, all because what's in front of you is hard. The other side of hard is everything God has promised you. The other side of hard is what you've been longing for, is what your heart desires, and you have to fight for it. You have to do some type of fighting. It's not going to come easy. The Israelites, to me, had a focus problem. They had a focus problem. They were focusing on the strength of the opposition instead of focusing on what was on the other side of hard. They were focusing too much on the strength of the opposition instead of focusing on the fruit that was on the other side. They said, here goes the fruit. So this is what we need to look forward to. Here comes the fruit. And then, so they're fixing their focus on how hard it's going to be to attain what they wanted to attain instead of focusing on the fruit. And so my thing for you, when life gets hard, one thing I want you to do is focus on the fruit. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side of hard. Somebody say, focus on the fruit. Whenever you run into a roadblock, you can put this on the screen. Whenever you run into a roadblock that seems hard, focus on the fruit. If it makes you appreciate the fruit more. That's what hard does. It makes you appreciate it. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side. Fix your focus. Fix your focus. See, do you appreciate what's on the other side of the process when you put in the work for it? When you put in work for something, when something comes too easy, you don't really appreciate it like you should. And so when you put in work for it, so I remember my mom, like when, she'll look at her looking at me crazy. One thing she liked doing, like if she felt like my brother didn't appreciate something, especially when it came to a car. She would say, you know, you're going to pay for your own car. Because when you spend your own money, you appreciate it more. So when you sacrifice, so a lot of people have an appreciation issue because they don't sacrifice. But the second somebody starts sacrificing their own things, their own resources, then they show a stronger appreciation. So that's what hard does. Hard makes you appreciate the fruit that's on the other side. The other side of hard. So focus on the fruit that's on the other side. It's going to be hard. This path is going to be hard, but focus on the fruit. Because hard will make you appreciate the fruit that's on the other side. That's why when things get easy, when things come too easy, I don't really want it. Because I'm not going to appreciate. You appreciate when you go through some things. You appreciate, you have to look and be like, this peace you see, I had to fight for this peace. Because what I was going through was hard, but now I'm on the other side of hard. I can appreciate the stability that I'm dealing with right now. I can appreciate the peace I'm walking in right now. I can appreciate the rest. Because I had to fight for this. This didn't come easy. Grieving is hard. But the fruit of peace on the other side. Focus on it. Focus on it. Focus on the fruit. And I even think about this, especially with, you know, we're in a social media age. Everybody want to be viral on social media. You know, they looking at the numbers. Being a comedian, and you know, they always look at your social media numbers. Now I know people that will buy followers or buy subscribers so they can look good in the eyes of other people. And so right now, I'm going to be transparent. We trying to get to 100 YouTube subscribers. We 31 subscribers away, because when you get 100, you get a custom URL. And I like custom URLs, you know. And here's the thing. People like, and if I was somebody else that didn't care, you could just buy subscriptions so you can get it. But I want to work for it. I want this blessing to be organically, not paid for. We should want organic blessings. We don't want to have to pay for our blessings. And when it comes to subscription, we want to grow, because you appreciate when you worked for it. You appreciate when you fought for it. You appreciate when you sacrificed for it. When you did all you could and the result turns out the way you want it. You appreciate it more. You appreciate when you cook a good meal instead of buying one. You're like, I did good. But focus on the fruit that's on the other side. Hard makes you appreciate the fruit more. Say, focus on the fruit. Fix your focus. The fruit is what's on the other side of hard. Budgeting money is hard. But the fruit of financial freedom is on the other side. Fix your focus. Don't focus on how hard saving money is and how hard budgeting is. Focus on the debt-free that you can experience on the other side. Focus on a financial freedom. Focus on a debt-free lifestyle that's on the other side. Dieting is hard. Working out is hard. Don't focus. Look at somebody. Yeah. Eating right, all that stuff is hard, but focus on the fruit of a healthy lifestyle that's on the other side. Focus on the fruit. Don't focus on how hard the process is going to be. Focus on what's on the other end of that hard process. Fix your focus. Budgeting is hard. Saving money is hard. Working out is hard. Forgiveness is hard. Don't focus on how hard it is to forgive. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side of peace. It's something about just you had peace and you're not sitting here all eating yourself alive because you're holding grudges. That's a fruit that you can focus on. So don't focus on the hard path. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side. Like I say, I get real. Try to get real life scenarios that people are dealing with. Celibacy is hard. But focus on the fruit of self-discipline that's on the other side. I know. All this stuff that we deal with is hard. When we try to do right, that's hard. Because we living in a crazy world. We are humans. We have temptations. We want to spend money. We want to eat wrong. We want to sleep around. People have those desires. And it's hard to go against those desires, but focus on the fruit that's on the other side. Focus on the fruit. We have to, I remember, so I made a decision a few weeks ago, and I forgot, I think I was talking to my wife about it. I made a decision a few weeks ago to no longer complain about the hard. I don't want to complain about how hard something's going to be. I'm going to stop complaining and just start praising him for the fruit. I'm not going to focus on how hard, because what I'm trying to do, Rosemary, is tough. It's going to take some challenges, but I'm going to focus on the fruit that's on the other side. So whenever you're going through something and God is calling you to do something, and you be like, God, I know what you want me to do. I hear you, but that's hard, God. I don't think I can do it. But you say, don't focus on how hard it's going to be. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side. Focus on the fruit. So let's, as a church, let's get together and let's just stop complaining about the hard and start praising him for the fruit that's on the other side. Focus on the fruit. No more complaining. We're going to start praising. We have to develop a mindset that nothing is going to stop me from the promises of God. Nothing gonna stop me. I decree and I declare, church, that nothing or no one is going to prevent me from reaching my promised land. Nothing or no one, not a nan-nutter. Not a nan-nutter person is going to stop me from reaching the promises God has for my life. Now if anybody watching right now know where that line from, not a nan-nutter, write it in the chat. I love that movie. But not a nan-nutter person is going to stop me from reaching what God wants me to achieve in my life. I don't care how hard it's going to get. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I ain't going to back out. The Israelites refused to enter the land because how hard it was going to be to get it. That's why when I read it, that's what I get from it. Because I believe you, Bishop. I honestly believe if the scouts came back and gave a report that, oh, them people, they are weak. They're timid. We can easily take them. They're small. I'm pretty sure that generation of Israelites would be like, let's go. This is going to be an easy fight. Thank you, God. This promised land is going to be an easy conquer. Because we have a different energy when we think something's going to be easy. Being a basketball player, when you see a team in a layup line warming up, like, oh yeah, they small, we got this. It's you just develop some type of swag, some type of energy when we think things are easy. But I'm here to say, let's keep that same energy when we see that it's going to be harder than we thought it was going to be. Let's keep that same energy. Somebody say, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy when it's harder than you thought it was going to be. Because, if they would have brought back a report and said that they are like grasshoppers in our eyes, I'm pretty sure the Israelites would have kept going. But the report was opposite. It's like, we like grasshoppers to them. That's how small we are. Now people are, okay, we have to revisit this. I was ready to fight, but how big are they? They saw that they were like, I didn't sign up for this. No, what you want us to do, this lane trying to conquer, is going to require more work from me than I'm willing to put in. They saw it was going to be harder than they thought, and they were going to have to put in more work than they wanted to. And they were ready to run back to Egypt. And if they did, they have no one to blame but themselves. We have no one to blame when we refuse to go forward because life gets hard. Yeah. And you want to blame other people. No, you saw how hard it got and you backed out. Right. You saw how hard it got. It was going easy in your eyes, and now it's starting to get a little hard, and now you're backing out and you blaming other people. No, because if God has already brought you to it, he already given you victory. Like they just sung a song, you walking in victory. So you didn't really believe that you was walking in victory because once it got hard, you backed out. So you was walking in victory when it got easy. But the real walking in victory comes when it gets hard. Keep that same energy when it was easy. Keep that same energy when it get hard. You have no one to blame but yourself. How much work are you willing to put in to achieve what God is wanting you to achieve? How much work? Because the work comes in when it gets hard. When it's easy, you don't really got to do a lot of work for it. I remember my freshman year, I attended University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and this is just my story. Like people, being a black man going to HBCU first, then going to PWI, predominantly white institutions, people, which one's better? Which one's? Look, everybody got their own process. At Pine Bluff, I was on path to graduate in 3.5 years. A lot of stuff was easy to me. That's just me. It was easy for me. And then I went to Rollo. It wasn't so easy. I had to put in work. I didn't really have to put in work at Pine Bluff. I was coasting in my eyes. And that's why I say I know that with this whole everybody titled to want their own opinion on social media. They may, oh man, Nick said that. I didn't say that. For me, it was easy. When I got to Rolla, I had to put in work. And I was like, if I really want this degree in engineering management, I'm going to have to put in some work for it. So how much work are you willing to put in to achieve what you're wanting to achieve? And I know I said everything you want is on the other side of hard, and put this on the screen. Everything you badly want. Everything you badly want is on the other. If you want something so badly, you're going to keep going. When you want something so strongly and you feel like this is what God is putting on my spirit, and I'm not going to let the enemy, I'm not going to let the opposition stop me from going forward because I badly want this. How badly do you want to experience a financial freedom in your life? How badly do you want to be debt-free? How badly do you want to achieve what you're trying to achieve? To everybody in school, how bad do you want that degree? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to experience that land flowing with milk and honey? How bad do you want to experience the promises God has for you? How bad do you want it? Because here's the secret. You already been given victory. If God has put some in your spirit, you already been given victory. So why not keep going forward? The promised land is already yours. You just have to fight. You have to do a little fighting. That's all. Just a little fighting. All you have to do, matter of fact, all you have to do is just show up. Just show up. They saw what was on the other side. They just had to conquer it. It was theirs. It was already theirs. It was already theirs. And in Numbers, go to this scripture right here. Number 13, first and second, 13th chapter. Secondary scripture, yeah. The Lord now said to Moses, send out men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I am giving to the Israelites. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. And so now you like, God, you giving this to me, and now you get there, you see it's hard, now you want to back out. But he said he's giving it to you. All right, that's cool right there, yeah. He said he's giving it to you. So explore this land that I'm giving to you. But when it gets hard, keep going. You're going to have to do a little fighting though. All you got to do is just show up. The victory is already yours. You just throw a few punches every now and then, but I'm gonna give you victory. I remember, y'all probably seen Jeffrey, my little cousin Jeffrey. When we were kids, like when we were young, and me and my brother be playing video games, and he want to play with us. But when you're a kid, they don't really know what they're doing when they're younger than you, and so we'll just give him a controller, but not plug it up. And so me and my brother playing, and he's in there playing too, but he's doing a lot of work, but we're actually doing all the work. He's doing a lot of moving, but we're doing all the work. All he had to do was just show up and pick up his joystick to feel like he's a part of the game. So we're saying when you get to that promised land, all you have to do is show up, throw a few punches, but God already did all the work for you. He's really playing. All we doing, we just got to do our part and show up and trust him. That's all we got to do. And like my cousin Jeffrey was having all the fun, like I am killing this game. I'm doing all this. And you could have that same feeling when it comes with God, and he already given you the promised land. He already given you victory. You're walking in victory. So all you got to do when life gets hard, all you got to do is just show up to the fight. Just show up to the fight and you all good. Just show up to the fight. You already been given a W. You already have that. The God said, I'm taking to the land that I'm giving you. Meaning you already have victory. So in my book, you already have the W. But if you don't show up, you take that L. And now we upset because on our record, we have an L. We have a loss on our record, and we trying to blame that on God, but we can't blame that on God. God said, I'm already giving to you. This your W. All you have to do is show up. And sometimes the hardest part, people don't show up. Because they don't want to put in the work. All you have to do is show up. It's crazy how people say they want something badly, but don't show up. You come up, hey, bro, check this out. I got you the job. You in there. I talked to my boss. They like you. All you got to do is show up to the interview and answer a few questions. That's all you have to do. You go through that formal process. You got the job. The job is already yours. But all you have to do is show up. And then they don't show up. And you're like, bro, you just took yourself out of this blessing because you didn't show up. You was too lazy to get up and show up. Yeah. All you have to do is show up. We forfeit ourselves by walking away. Yeah. That's right. You already victorious, but you just need to show up. He said, this is the land I am giving to the Israelites. It's already yours. But I like how he says, so when I was preparing for this sermon, another sermon hit me when I was reading this 13th chapter of Numbers, verse 2, when he says, send out men to explore the land of Canaan. Send out men to explore the land of Canaan. So now I'm going to give you a sneak peek of another sermon that I've been pretty much working on. But it's like, I love how God had them explore the land before he gave it to them. I like how he had them check it out, scout it, explore it, so you can see what's on the other side, so you can see how hard it's going to be to get there. So explore it. I like how he's scouting. There's times in our life where God will have you explore a land before he gives it to you. He'll have you do some exploring so you can see what you're getting yourself into. Because a lot of times we be speaking that we want to do something, and then we make a decision without really consulting God, and we just jump right into it, and now we're like, wait a second, this is not what I signed up for. Because you didn't explore it good enough. To anybody here watching from college or in college right now, take internships seriously in my eyes. Take some internships help me get to where I'm at right now. I wanted to be a computer scientist. Had an internship. I saw what they did. Didn't like it. It was too boring. Like, I like the code, but I don't like just sitting staring at a computer and not talking to nobody. That's why they just... And so I'm like, I'm glad I had that season of exploring so I can know what I was preparing for. And so now I switched it, and I went down a path that was more suitable for me because I asked God. And I was thankful that God had me scouted before I made a permanent decision. So a lot of us, we're frustrated right now because we feel like, God, you told me this is mine, but I don't have it. Because you said you're not in that season right now. You're in scouting season right now. You're in scouting season. I'm just having you explore so you can see it. Explore so you can check it out. Explore. I like how God had them scout before he gave it to them. To all the dreamers out there, Do some exploring. I tell people all the time, if you want to do something, you make a decision to do something, a career, check it out. Study and see what people did to get to where you're trying to go. I want to be a professional athlete. Look at the life of a professional. I have a friend that's a coach. He said everybody want to be a college athlete until they see the schedule. Everybody want to be, I want to be a college athlete. And then they see, hey, wait a second, 6 a.m. workouts? 12 noon workouts? 3 workouts, a film at 8? I don't got no life. Yeah, that's the lifestyle of a college athlete. So check it out. You want to be in the entertainment industry, check it out. Whatever industry you want to pursue, you want to be in politics, you want to be in government, whatever, check it out so you can see the amount of work it takes to get to that level. But we want to jump right into it. We want to jump right into it without fully developing everything we need and fully checking out everything we need so we can succeed. And God will have you do some exploring so you can see what you're getting yourself into. So check it out. You in scouting season, scout it out. That's what dating is all about. Some of us jump in relationships before we scout out the person. Good. Check it out. Explore. See what's going on. See what they like. You know, I know, the older we get, you got to start asking questions. Okay, what's your credit? I need to know. Because you jump right into a relationship and they in a lot of debt, your name tied to it. And you're like, dang, I should have really checked them out. I should have looked more and asked more questions than what's your favorite color. Red, because they ain't negative. That's what it is. Check it out. That's why I did. That's why the comedy in me coming out. But that's why I did. I tell me and my wife, we both scouted each other out. She had to see what I'm about. I had to see what she about. Because that's what it is. Like I said, she has a kid. I don't have any kids naturally, so I knew this was going to be hard. And so let me fully see how hard it's going to be before I make a commitment. Because one thing about me that I always had when it came to a relationship, I do not like wasting people's time. And if I feel like, look, this ain't going nowhere, I'm out. I'm not about to waste your time. I'm not about to waste my time. And so what I did before I even asked the question, because over time, God revealed me that this is your wife, but I didn't sit there and propose to her right then and there. I said, well, he said, this is your wife, but you about to enter in the scouting season. Need you to explore and see so you can be prepared for when you make this commitment, you know how hard it's going to be, And so that's what it's all about. God has already given you something, but a lot of time we get so happy when we see that God dropped in our spirit, okay, this is mine. Let me start. No, don't start making moves right now trying to make it happen. God going to make it all happen naturally. Right now, just do some scouting, baby. Just do some exploring. Scouting season. I love how he had them scout. So they can see what's on the other side of hard. And when they saw what was on the other side of hard, it was the fruit. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side. And now I'm about to go. Let's go to point 1 again. Hard does 3 things. Hard makes you appreciate the fruit more. That's what we talked about. And let's talk about number 2. Hard does this. We go to point 2. Hard weeds out the unfit. It weeds them out. When things are easy, everyone is around. Everyone looking good, eating good. We like, this is everything going good. Like I said, you have certain energy about you when life is easy. But once it gets a little challenging, that's when people start thinning out. In college, they have courses called weed out classes. Yeah, weed out classes. And at Rolla, the weed out class was chemistry. And chemistry, we like, this is hard. I don't even want to be no chemist. But they did that to newcomers, the freshmen and transfers, so they can weed you out. Because if you can't handle this course, good luck trying to get this engineering degree. And people are like, why are these they're weed out courses? They use that so they can test people. And if this is for you, you will get through it and you will keep going. Ain't that true, Minnesota? Weed out classes. And if you can succeed, if you back out, good. It's backing out now, then instead of waiting years down the line and backing out later, we're going to get you out early. So you can make a decision, another decision real quick. Yep. So it's weed out classes. So hard weeds out the unfit. Even when we think about the Bible, when Gideon was preparing to go to war with the Midianites, he had 32,000. The Midianites had 135,000. And then he asked them, who's scared? Because what we about to do is hard. We're already outnumbered, like 1 to 4. So what we about to do is going to be hard. So I need to know first, who's scared, Marcus? Who don't want to fight? And 22,000 people say, I thought you would never ask. And they left. They saw how hard, like, look, this was going to be hard, so I'm good. And it weeds them out. They left. Because hard will weed out the unfit. Even with this generation of Israelites in this text, they refused to enter Canaan. God told them, so that hard weed them out. Because God told anybody 20 and older is not going to enter the promised land. Only your offspring will. But this generation, nope. So they were unfit. After they refused to enter, they were unfit to enter, and now their offspring is going to enter. And so when I think about that, and I'm about to say some more harsh but truth, God's promises for his earthly kingdom will happen with or without you. It will happen with or without you. God's will get done with or without you. So if he puts something on your spirit for you to do and you too scared to do it, or you like, look, I don't want to put in that hard work, don't get mad when somebody else does it. Don't get mad. Don't get jealous because you was willing to put in the work and somebody else is willing to put in the work. God's promises will happen with or without you. He wanted you to do it, but you refused to step forward. And now you're upset because he picked somebody else. And you have no one to blame but yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself. You can't get upset and start hating on a person. You know that job was mine, but guess what? It's not because you didn't want to put in the work for it. That position was mine, but you didn't want to put in the work. You know, I'm more qualified than she is. You probably are, but you didn't want to put in the work. And people really get upset. Sports, anything, they get upset when somebody else gets the position because they were willing to put in the work. His will happen with or without you. They could have easily, that generation could have entered the promised land if they was like, okay, we know it's going to be hard, but we're going to still go forward. But the fact that they said we don't want to put in the work like that, God said, all right, cool, y'all not going to go, your kids going to go. Wait a second. Now, can we revisit this conversation? Nope. I know it's going to be hard, but you need to look at the fruit. On the other side of hard is that fruit. And we're going to do hard does the 3 things. Let's do the point 3. Point 3. Hard does this. Hard develops you for long-term success. When you endure the hard, you will learn the mindset of longevity. See, we can get so caught up on quick success, but then we get right back to the bottom. Because we never developed a mindset for long-term success. Like, so if things come easy, a lot of times they don't last. Because when you go through something, when you sacrifice something, you're going to develop a mindset that's going to last you for a while. So people want to get a shortcut to the top, but then they want to stay on top. But no. If you go get a shortcut to the top, it became too easy, and now you back at the bottom. Because you didn't develop a mindset that's going to keep you at the top. So you asking God, look, I just need $1 million. So what, you can be broke next year? Because the money came too easy, and you never develop a mindset on financial budgeting. You never developed a mindset to keep that money. That's why you hear all the time people win a lottery and they broke again. Because they never, if they had to work for that money, if they had to grind for it, if they had to sacrifice for it, they would have developed a mindset that's going to, okay, I'm going to make this money last. I'm going to make this money work for me. And they wouldn't be broke. But now you back at the bottom because you didn't go through the hard to develop the mindset for long-term success. Like say in my household, they love watching. So by default, I watch it. It's 600 Pound Life. Dr. Now, that program is built for long-term success. Yeah, he don't give everybody. He make them go through a test. Because like it's all about the mind. Because if I have you do surgery and lose all this weight now without having you focusing on your mind, you're going to gain that weight right back. Because you never fully developed the mindset for long-term success. The problem with taking shortcuts is that you are skipping fundamental steps. You're skipping fundamental steps. Now, let me tell you something. I work in an industry that I streamline process and I make companies paperless. I look for efficient ways to do something. That's what I do. That's what I do. But here's the thing. So I'm not against easy. I'm not against easy. But a lot of times we can get so caught up trying to look for the easiest way to do something that we never do the work. That's right. That's the problem. You're looking for an easy way. You're looking for shortcuts. You're looking for all these, okay, let me look for these loopholes that you become stagnant in a way. And you live your life looking for the easiest way to do something. If you can find a more efficient way to do something, then do it. But when it gets hard or it's harder than you thought it was going to be, don't back out. And don't back out and refuse to walk into what God is calling you to do. Everything you want is on the other side of hard. And I'm going to end with this. Don't focus on the hard. Focus on the fruit that's on the other side of hard. That's right. God bless you. God keep you.